So as a number of our cucurbitaceous crops emerge and develop and mature, such as cucumbers, melons, squash, pumpkins, and the like, some pests can emerge, like the squash bug, for example. The squash bug is a type of true bug. It is in the Hemiptera genus, and so it's relatively closely related to the stink bug, the leaf-footed bug, the assassin bug, and some other true bugs, the box elder bug as well. So let's go check out the squash plants and kind of see what's going on with them, and if we can see any signs of squash bug damage or presence. Let's get right down to it. Alright, so here we have some of the patty pan squash, plants with the big leaves. We have some sorghum in between, and then on either outside row of the bed we have beans. Black turtle beans, to be specific. And so there's actually also some canaf in here as well. It's going to be that plant right there with the teardrop shiny leaves that are toothed. But what I want to focus on right now is the patty pan squash, because these plants are really beginning to get larger. We've had some good rain, which is really spurring a bunch of this growth. Warm weather as well, and probably within a week or two, I'd say these plants are going to start putting out flowers, and then from there we'll be able to get some fruit. The flowers, of course, are edible. So now that the plants are really coming into size and continuing to mature, some of the pests of the squash are also coming out, particularly the squash bug. It's always a good practice to be scouting out your crops for potential pests or diseases throughout the season, as often as is reasonably possible, and sometimes more often than that. So it's important to be aware of certain signs that may be indicative of a potential problem. So we look at this leaf here. It actually seems like a little minorly chlorotic. I'm not totally sure what's going on there. Seems to be chlorotic between the veins, but so that'll be something to note, right? Maybe a nutrient deficiency. But I want to focus on this little splotch here on the leaf and kind of zoom in on that. So you can kind of see these little dark specks. And those are squash bug eggs. So they can be on the top surface of the leaf. They may also be on underside surfaces of leaves. Yeah, in fact, I think you can kind of see, if you look close enough, you can kind of see the dark outline of more of these eggs translucently right through the other side. They're laid on the underside of the leaf. So, it's important to train your eye and be aware of things like that. These squash bug eggs, also sometimes squash bugs can, when they feed on the plant, the squash plants, they can also spread the cucurbit yellow vine disease. We're looking at some more squash bug egg masses here, and there's some more on this leaf as well. Commonly what we can do to look for squash bugs, they're going to be hiding underneath things. So like if you have a board or a big leaf that's close to the ground, they may take shelter under that. Oftentimes, of course, they will be near squash plants. And so how we can manage this potential pest threat as gardeners In many cases, might be, you know, the soap and water trick, where some people will drown bugs in the water, and the soap will inhibit their ability to breathe. Other people might just, you know, step on them. You know, these bugs do not bite humans, so you don't have to worry about that aspect. However, you do not want to confuse these insects with assassin bugs or wheel bugs, which can look very similar, especially at certain stages of growth, and those can bite and can, you know, may have some nasty consequences to entail. But just know your bug identification. You know, the squash bugs generally have shorter antennae. They're going to be that mottled brown stink bug color, and they're going to be about like 1 inch to 1.5 inches or so long. Whereas wheel bugs can be much larger. They can also have that characteristic wheel hump shape on their back. And then some assassin bug varieties, they can be different colors and different shapes, but those may be more like vibrantly orange. The nymphs are going to be black with that orange tip at the base of the abdomen, or the tail, whatever it's called. They kind of look like a mini scorpion. Here is a squash bug. They've got like that black and white mottling on the edges of the wings. 6 legs, of course. The antennae aren't terribly long. And I don't generally like to be out in the open like this, but kind of like an elongated stink bug. Let's see if we can... So thank you so much for checking out this video. I appreciate it. I look forward to seeing you in a future video. Take care.